Alright, so folks are probably wondering where I've been. I haven't really been posting videos for the last couple of days, and what I've been up to was actually a challenge that some other folks mentioned on the channel and some of the comments, talking about one of the comments I say a lot when I review Kiriko gameplay is I say, oh, like, you know, you should really focus on your healing mechanics. Like, I feel like you can get even to low diamond just healing alone, like literally never throwing a kunai. And some folks were like, can you really do that? You know, I would love to see that gameplay. So I thought, oh, okay, well, like, why don't I try to do that? Because it just seemed like an interesting challenge. And, you know, I want to back up what I say. So I have an alternate account. I've had it for a few years. And I started trying to play it. And the idea was I was going to play Kiriko, and I was going to not use kunais. But I very quickly altered that policy. For starters, I agreed. I changed it so that I could attack inanimate objects. So I could attack turrets, like symmetric turrets, torb turrets. I could use it to attack Bob, for example. But for the most part, I did not use it to attack people, with the rare occasion where somebody was trying to clown on me, which happens sometimes, like especially when people realize the whole game that you're like not attacking. So sometimes I would get stuck in the open and someone would just stand still, like a Hanzo would stand still shooting at me. I'm like, okay, this is not acceptable. But like almost always, and I'll post some of the videos, like almost always, if I could avoid attacking, I would avoid attacking. This even includes some scenarios where I got nanoed like multiple times. I'm like, this is silly. And I still didn't attack, and it was definitely tough. I also didn't attack people who were frozen, right? People who were stunned, like slapped, none of that. Like I basically just did not attack. So I placed, I think this account previously was probably, I want to say like high gold, low plat. And after I did my first placements, I ended up placing in plat 4. I do have one brig game in here, because when my very first match, I did not have Kiriko unlocked. And which was surprising to me because this account predates Overwatch 2. And the reason being is that you had to log in before the end of Season 2 to get Kiriko for free. So I started the game, I was like, oh shoot, I played Beric, I won that game. And then purchased Kiriko, because there's no way I'm grinding like 25 wins or whatever it is. Then I bought Kiriko, and I played Kiriko exclusively the rest of the way. You'll also see that I have 5 minutes of Zen here, and it's because in one of the games, somebody picked Kiriko, the Ilios support picked Kiriko for the second half faster than I could. And it turns out later that I realized they were a Kiriko 1 trick. So that happened. I also won that game. So other than that initial brig game is Zenyatta game, all the rest of the time this season is on Kiriko. And I placed in plat 4. I went 5 and 5, ranked up to plat 3, so that's probably just decay kicking in. I went 5 and 5 again, and I ranked up from plat 3 to plat 2, so that's again probably kind of decay sort of going over from there. And then now that I've been plat 2, I have won 1 game and lost 5. And this is the point where I'm calling it quits on this exercise. It's possible that I will get to plat 1. I think it will be very hard to do so. Certainly I could still play better, but I think getting to plat 1 without attacking would be extremely difficult. And getting, I would say at least very difficult. It would probably require me to play a lot more. I would probably like at least double the number of hours just to get to plat 1. And I'd probably need to play something like 20 plus hours in order to get to Diamond 5. And I'm just not doing it. It's just not fun. Like I reached the point, like, it was amusing initially, but it's gotten to the point where like, it's very obvious like the mistakes that everybody else makes, and I have no ability to capitalize on it because I cannot attack. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that it really limits your gameplay. It's not even about the kills. Obviously, the kills are really, really important, but not being able to control off angles is critical. So, for example, if I see a soldier flanking, because I can't even attack him, even if I'm not trying to hit him, it'll cause him to think twice. But if I see him, right, and I can't attack, he will just stand still when he realizes I'm not attacking and just like aim very accurately and gun us down. And so that type of problem is really, really problematic for me, where I just can no longer control off angles and we just get like flanked and killed, even if I'm pinging. Sometimes the team responds and the team doesn't, or they're busy. Not being able to headshot people who are slept or frozen or stunned or whatever, that's brutal. Right? Not being able to farm ultimate faster was a huge thing that I did not even think of, is I just could not farm ulti as fast as I normally would because I couldn't attack. I would have so much dead time when I was just healing nonstop, and with like my whole team would be healing and we're setting a good spot and I couldn't attack. I'm like, okay, well, this is like both boring and inefficient on my part. So I'm going to call it quits here. I don't know what I'm going to actually place as, but frankly, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm probably going to drop to plat 3. I mean, unless I win 4 in a row or something. It's like a tiny chance I can get to plat 1, but I assume it's probably the cap is plat 2, plat 3. So I'm going to revise my original statement where I'm like, you can play Kiriko all the way to low diamond. But for reference, I got, I think, up to diamond 1 in season 1, playing Kiriko almost exclusively as support, at least like 80% of the time. But that was pre nerfs to her healing and cooldown, so it was much more viable to heal non-stop back then. So I don't think it is reasonable for almost any player to get to diamond without attacking. I think you pretty much have to attack. All right, I'm gonna cut this video here, and I'm gonna do some reviews of my game so that you guys can see what that actually looks like in terms of playing Kiriko without attacking.